Hello, one of the questions we get asked quite commonly in the comment section down below is what do you guys actually wear when you're out riding, which is a valid question. We have an awful lot of choice, so it's interesting to see what we actually ride in. We're going to start with a familiar face in Andrew, one of our directors, before my non-hostile takeover, the face of our YouTube channel. So let's go and have a look at his gear in a bit.
Morning, mate.
Chose a beautiful day for it.
I know, just about to dispose of the children and the nappies.
Oh right, yeah, good timing as well then.
Come on in, buddy.
Yeah? I'm just going to put a lock on the wheel. Go ahead and show us your ride. I would say pride and joy, but that's maybe a bit presumptuous. Are you proud of it?
Oh yeah, I am.
You should be proud.
I am. It's sort of one of those where it's like, it causes me quite a lot of aggro as well. You know, it's not, I had a BMW GS beforehand.
I was going to ask what your previous one was.
Yeah, this thing eats chains, sprockets.
As we know.
It drinks oil. It does a lot of damage to itself. It's sort of constantly trying to kill itself.
But it looks so damn good.
That's the thing.
In all honesty, between this and the GS, which one did you prefer?
Oh, this.
Oh really?
I mean, this is honestly like my perfect bike, apart from the hassle factor, but you know, like anything gorgeous, you have to put up with a bit of nonsense, don't you? I think the best thing about it is that as much as the guys at the warehouse like absolutely hate to admit it, they agree that my bike sounds the best. It just crackles and pops on the overrun off the throttle. It's just amazing. But basically, yeah, it's an 800cc twin. It's air cooled, so it should be simple and it should be cheap to run, but it's not. And it's just ideal for town because it's light enough to throw about. It's powerful enough to do everything you want. Yeah. It looks amazing. It's got that kind of I can go anywhere doing a thing attitude, even though reality is it's mostly just commuting. I just love it. It's nice and tall and it's a bit sort of naughty, I suppose.
Yeah, you know, it seems a bit like naughty. A rascal, yeah.
And you know, when I go to bike shed meets, I actually am allowed to park up in the main parking area, whereas when I had the GS, I was quite literally told you're not allowed to come and park here, go somewhere else. Yeah. So
you know, most of them ride dad bikes, right? They've all got freaking.
Well, they do now. Now everyone's getting GSs.
Yeah.
I was ahead of the curve. I mean, I've only just moved here, so I don't really want to fall out
maybe
with all
don't
the neighbours
yet. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother entering that competition, to be honest with you. I can tell you right this second.
I win.
Yeah, you win. Congrats.
Come on, let's go look at the gear.
Right, so now that the madhouse is cleared, we can break down a few of your items then. I think the best place to start if we're going to break down your clothing is just go head to toe.
Yeah,
let's just start top to bottom.
Let's start with the helmet. I mean, I'm just looking forward to having a chat without the kids around, so this is peace and quiet for a bit. So yeah, I've got my main outfit. Like everyone, we probably have more than one of individual pieces of gear. So from the top, starting with my Moto 3. Basically, this is my go-to if the weather is permitting. This is my preferred choice. Yeah. I've got a practical helmet, which we'll get to, but this is just fantastic because essentially what it affords you is that open face feel. So you get the wind and everything and the rain if you're caught out. But it's got the full face safety features, which is exactly what I want. It's fitted with the Barstow 100% Barstow goggles, which are fantastic. They're a full motocross sized goggle, but they go really well with our sort of segment. They're not too sporty and garish. They're a little bit more refined. But the thing I was going to mention is that when it comes to the Moto 3, because it has this really large aperture, you can fit any goggle, any motocross goggle to it without having to worry. A lot of the other street cross ones in the range, we will always mention this in the videos, they're actually a smaller aperture and you can't get a motocross goggle in. You have to get like a specific one for that helmet, which often are sort of shrunken. You then don't get quite the same peripheral vision and just sort of slightly defeats the point of what's trying to be achieved with the helmet itself. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. The black is just a sort of easy neutral color. I've noticed I need to get a new one because there's all these chips
Yeah,
that have appeared on it.
I didn't want to say anything, but I did see a few chips in the top.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm obviously stingy, and I haven't replaced it. But I would go for the blackout variant, which essentially doesn't have the massive branding all down the side, which is a bit of a bugbear of mine. And then when it's not nice, I have, oh, there we go. It's just laid a pair of gloves. When it's not nice, I have my Shoei RYD. And this is a sort of internal point of contention for me, because for years I just had the kind of typical street helmet in our segment.
Yeah.
And like Bell Bullets, Gringos, things like that. Then Shoei brought out the RYD, or Ride, I think it's supposed to be the RYD. And this is a helmet that is supposed to cater to the urban rider through the sort of imagery they put out. Mm-hmm. The reality is this is very much a generic shell. There's not that much that makes it retro particularly. Sure. The frustrating thing was that just after I got this, we went to EICMA, the big motorcycle show in Milan, and they unveiled the Glamster, the best, worst named helmet ever, which is just my perfect helmet basically. If I just can't justify having another new one. This one's still perfectly fine. So I will be getting a Glamster, definitely would be in my ideal riding gear lineup, but because I have an RYD, it's in there. These have actually been discontinued anyway. So if you're in the market, go for the Glamster, that would be my advice. The Arai is also very similar, which you have. So moving on to jackets, and I think we've just re-released the Ivy jacket video, which
this morning.
Yeah, this morning, which is a good thing because this is a wonderful jacket, and I'm not sure how well you can actually see it in the camera at the moment, but this is also the most expensive jacket we've ever done. So this is way over 4 figures. This is, I think, £1,125, which is an eye-watering amount of money. There is no doubt about that. And frankly, there's no way you can really justify it. Other than the fact that when you actually try this jacket on, it's just nicer than anything else, full stop. There's something about the leather, and they have changed that, of course. So this is the first version which had the horsehide. Thank you.
Horsehide, yeah.
Horsehide, and then it changed to the bull grain leather, and they both basically feel the same, and they're similarly well treated. This is a hand waxed leather, so Belstaff's hand waxed stuff is several £100 more than their sort of standard leathers. And literally, there's a little man in the factories that kind of spends hours and hours just going through each jacket. And you can tell when you get up and close and personal, but I know a lot of people obviously will just find it entirely objectionable, the price that these are at, which is also fair enough.
Yeah, completely. It's a tricky one though. I mean, I don't mind too much investing larger sums of money and stuff if I know I'm going to use it more than I would use something that was, say, cheaper.
Yes.
So if I know I'm going to wear that, and you wear that every single time I see you on a dry day, you're wearing that.
I wear it in the rain as well, hence why it's probably not in the best condition. But yeah, I just love it.
So you've got, the value out of that.
Yeah, and the reason I did actually justify this to myself was I had a Belstaff prior to this, which is from literally about 12 years ago, and used it every single day for 10 years of riding, and it was perfect until the end where the zip started to go, and I just thought time to get a new jacket. And I thought, fair enough, if you think the amount of rides divided by the cost, that's how I always justify it to myself. It started to do the man maths, and it made a bit of sense. So anyway, I love it, but yeah, you can definitely get pretty much just as good for about a quarter of the price, there's no doubt about that. Honourable mentions to things like, I've got an Urbane Pro as well. I recommend every motorcyclist has one of these. This is the sort of jacket you can wear as a mesh jacket in the summer or under anything, and that's just a really useful sort of backup item. And then going into trousers, so I thought this is actually a really useful opportunity.
I saw them poking through,
I'm fascinated. What are these? So these are the El Solitario Rascal trouser, and these have not really been mentioned by us, although we still do them. We've done them for about 5 years now, I think. As soon as I saw these trousers, I wanted them, and I just saw a photo or even a drawing, I think it was just a sketch before they'd actually started making them. And this was the product for me that justified us taking on the whole brand, because I just thought, what a cool idea. If you're a rider who wants something reassuringly protective that's leather, there's really not much. We have a lot of jeans, we have some textile.
Which are coming on, they're improving, but we don't have an awful lot of leather trousers.
And I was doing at that time relatively long daily commutes, so for me the idea of changing either end actually, contrary to sort of urban rider philosophy, wasn't such an issue, because I was happy enough to do that for most days. And these are just something special. So they're basically a suede, and I've got the beige. There's also a black variant, which if I'm honest is probably the better choice, because keeping these clean is not the easiest thing in the world, but they're just so comfortable. They look incredible. There's nothing like them still on the market, really. They're very, very well made. So similar to what I said about this sort of hand waxing with Belstaff, this is one of those where there is a little man in a Galician atelier workshop in the forests of northwest Spain kind of making these individually, and they're just beautiful. So absolutely love them. I think they do go quite well with my bike, particularly that sort of
it suits
retro but modern off-road look.
I think you may stray if you changed bikes for something a bit more sort of generic. You'd struggle wearing these. They're a little bit statement.
Yes, they are a bit of a statement. You're peacocking on a motorcycle.
A little bit, yeah.
But so absolutely love these for when I'm not wearing something full on like the Rascals. I have my Pando Moto jeans, and I've got a pair of the Boss jeans on right now, which we recently did a video on, which are AAA rated. They're not single layered, and again, we could probably do a whole video talking about the merits of single versus multi-layered jeans. So anyway, I just love these, and these are relatively new. Again, I think Pando are the most underrated jean brand in terms of not that many people have heard of them. Sure, yeah. But every single time they just come out with amazing new products. So really exciting brand to sort of be working with. Moving on beyond the trousers, we have a couple of boot options. So again, you can tell I like my sort of bling, sort of slightly outlandish
statement pieces. It's not the sort of thing that you then go to an office and walk around and sit at your desk.
These are not great for wearing both on and off the bike, as we say in 90% of our product descriptions. These are, I can't even remember what they're called now, the El Solitario Alpine Stars something. It doesn't really matter because they don't make them anymore. But the point is, I actually like a high-rise boot, ideally. Again, it doesn't matter how well CE approved some of the stuff we do is in the trainer sort of segment. It's for urban riding, and as I say, I did a lot at the time of commuting in and out of town, and when you're kind of doing something like the bike shed festival race and stuff like that, you're not going to want to do that in trainers. So having something that's like properly high as a sort of go anywhere boot is great. And I mean, complete disclaimer, I was given these basically, so that's why I would never. They were something like £600. It was ridiculous. Job. So they were actually a freebie, and I was very happy to take them because they're crazy. And then I think you'd be fairly familiar with these. I've seen them in the office quite a lot. Well, you have a pair as well, right? I do, and I love them. They are my favourite boots, and obviously recently did a video on that as well. So these are the Rokker Urbane Racers, and they're just amazing. They're such a durable, stylish boot that worn in really nicely. One of our best sellers over the years. Not cheap to compare against some of the sort of like for like competition, but again, it is really difficult when you come across lots of products to just explain what it is that makes something sort of justified in being at a more expensive price point. So they are sort of a more durable boot compared to some of the other similar profile ones. I guess generically we'd call that like a worker rise boot, which we've got loads of. So there's so much choice, and there's no real sort of wrong decision there to be had from the range. But the Rokker ones definitely are amazing, and so the new one, the Rebel, they're probably better. Would you say, being slightly lighter, but offering the same benefits? Tough. I think maybe because they're fresh, they are the one that I like a little bit more. I'm drawn to maybe a little bit more. So they are very similar. But they are also, it's important differences around the ankle and the comfort, and they do look a little bit smarter, I would say. They go a little bit easier under trouser legs, because these don't go under trouser legs, I find. Padding and stuff. So always the jeans kind of rest on top, which I don't mind. I like the padding. Do you not? No, I love the padding, on mine, but it does mean that the jeans have to sit on top of. So if you want them to be a bit smarter, the new ones, you can obviously put your trousers over the top much easier. So to be honest, I'm going to have both at some point. I know I'm going to have both because I like them that much. Fair enough. It's just an excuse to indulge in more gear, isn't it? When you sort of say you can't decide. And then other sort of things. So gloves basically last in the sort of main bits of gear. So I have a pair of Velomacchi gloves, which I love them. I think are really cool. They just go well with my gear. Sort of outlandish. Not currently in stock, unfortunately. We are waiting for these to get CE approval. So with the changes of CE approval, basically you couldn't be offering gear that was not CE approved anymore. So these are sort of a legacy item that I've had, but I just love them. Velomacchi also, of course, doing the backpack.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not going to go into too much detail here because they're quite elaborate products in themselves, but that's been just a wonderful bit of gear for us because it was new when we started doing it. It's been a runaway success. So that's my day-to-day bag, and probably most people in the office have either the 28 or the 40 litre variant of the Speedway roll top. And then, my sort of more practical gloves are the Revit Hydra at the minute, but again, it could be any one of their whole range. They do the Cassini. There are several gloves in their range that are essentially shortcut all-weather gloves, which is seems like a little bit of a contradiction in terms. You'd think all gloves should have longer, but they sell really well. They're very comfortable. I prefer them, so you don't get that thing with the kind of junction point of the sleeve, because these literally just slot under, which is great.
The gauntlet's a hard thing to fit over the top of some sleeves, definitely.
And then, just to sort of make myself more comfortable, I have a little Belstaff neck warmer, which again seems really boring, but literally just grabbed this one day in the office. I was like, again, why have I not been riding with one of these? And of course, you can use this off the bike for all sorts of things as well, but it's just so nice and comfortable, stops all the wind getting down your neck. So that's my outfit. I love it. As I say, next thing will be the Glamster on my list once I can justify having yet another helmet. But yeah, it's all done me very, very well, and everything's lasted, way longer than I expected it to. So proud to recommend.
Which is a nice surprise, and it all looks quite good as well, as you say, especially with jacket. I can't believe you wear that thing in the rain. I really can't, but it does last well. That's testament to it.
Yeah, I've never treated it. You should.
Seriously?
You should. I've never done anything to look after pretty much any of the gear, in all honesty. So not the best owner in that sense, but no, love it. So
Andrew, thank you very much for showing us your stuff. Are we going to see you in some videos in the near future at some point? I haven't just stolen the entire channel.
Are you planning on leaving?
No, I want to need you in the video. I want to see your face again. I know they do as well. Thank you very much for watching. For more of the world's finest riding gear, stay tuned to Urbane Rider, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Cool. Should I say goodbye? I guess I probably should.
I feel like you should say goodbye, yeah. Thank you very much for watching. As always, for more of the world's finest riding gear, stay tuned to Urbane Rider. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was lame.